LouisvilleWargaming.com. Today we are about ready to discuss the Azyr comp Burning Peninsula campaign. So let's go inside and get this done. Alright guys, so we're going to discuss real quick the campaign and the purpose of the campaign and the goals of the campaign. The invasion of Brimstone Peninsula, this is on our website, and you just download it. I had it printed out nice because I wanted to. We are going to be using the comp pack that we wrote, the Azyr comp pack, just to help, just a public event, just to kind of give a semblance of the size of the forces and what we're expecting out of it. This is an escalation campaign, which means it's designed for people who don't have any army, or they're just starting, or you want to start a new army and you start small. And we build out to a patrol size force, which is about 50 models or so. So it's a affordable, smallish type campaign. This also is part one out of part two. Next year we're actually doing a whole map campaign with this, and the results of this campaign carry over into that. So the storyline is now the end times have happened and the Dark Elves have won, because last week Chris beat the Ogres, so the Dark Elves have won.
Boom.
And now we're in the New World. So for those of you who don't know, just to go real quick over the current narrative, all of the people of the old world got sent across to all the different realms. So there's like 8 different realms. Each of the old winds of magic is its own realm. And they built cities and flourished, and generations passed. So thousands of years went on. And then the Age of Chaos came. And during the Age of Chaos, Chaos basically invaded all of the realms and subjugated everyone to their whim, and built lots of fortresses to Chaos everywhere. So all of the realms are now owned by Chaos. So the Age of Sigmar is the new age, which has just started, where Sigmar said, okay, now it's time to stop the Age of Chaos, and we're going to go forth and take back these places. This particular campaign takes place in the Realm of Fire, and takes place in a specific area in the Realm of Fire called the Brimstone Peninsula, which is what they've talked about in their books. This is a specific part of the Brimstone Peninsula. So there's a little narrative in there if you wanted to go and read the book. I wrote a little narrative. I stole some of the stuff from their book, and then we kind of added it on just to make it more centric to what we're doing. So the leader of the Stormcast Eternals is Vandus Hammerhand, and he has this idea. So to invade the Brimstone Peninsula, they have to take the main fortress, which is this giant evil chaos fortress, run by this guy named Khuul. K-H-U-U-L. That's probably not how you spell his name, but that's how I say his name. And this fortress dominates the Brimstone Peninsula, and there are 8 mini fortresses that surround it that kind of guard the whole thing. And Vandus Hammerhand has selected one of those fortresses as the weakest link that you all are going to try to take to set up for the invasion next year on the main fortress. And that is the Blackmere Tower. Blackmere Tower is a tower that sits in the Blackmere Swamps. It's a burning swamp type deal. If you ever saw The Princess Bride, they have this thing called like the burning swamps. That's kind of what it is. So the ground is all nasty, the trees are all nasty, and it's very volatile, and there's flaming fumes everywhere. It's the Realm of Fire with water mixed in with it. But Blackmere Tower sticks out of the swamp. And the end goal, there's 5 scenarios in this campaign. The end goal is for the Force of Order to take that tower. Because if you can take that tower, that gives you a launching point into Khuul's main area. If you fail to take that tower, that means next year your launching point is basically this barren wasteland, which is open to the elements. So it's a weaker position. So 5 scenarios are going to lead up to this. Now he has recruited 3 heroes to help lead this. So right now at the beginning of this campaign, Chaos has no idea this is coming. They're all fat and lazy, because they've basically done whatever they wanted for generations. So here come these portals start to open up, and these heroes start to emerge from it, and they're going to try to catch them off guard. So scenario 1 is the Dwarf Hero. The Dwarf Hero hails from the Realm of Death, and he was actually, once his clan was from the Clan of Fire, and they were killed by the Chaos Fortresses, and he was basically banished to the Realm of Death. And he carries a special ancestral axe, which contains the souls of all his clan, which he unleashes on Chaos. So basically he slams it down on the ground and this spectral force appears. That's scenario 1. And you're trying to basically brush aside this chaos force so you can shoot into the Blackmere Swamp and take the tower. Scenario 2 involves 2 elven twins. One's a dark elf, one's a high elf basically. And they bounce off each other, and they have an elven force. And the third one is a Bretonnian type knight. It's a knight order, paladin order, that's going to try to invade. to set up this battle. So there are 5 different scenarios we're going to be dealing with. Today is just or this first couple weeks and campaign days next week, we're going to it's a basic scenario. All 5 are laid out. One of the scenarios coming up is a tactical objective scenario, which is kind of stolen from 40K's Maelstrom. So you have to bounce around and grab a piece of terrain. But real quick to go over the composition packet, just to kind of answer some questions on what and why. Everything has points values. A skirmish battle is considered 10 points. 10 points is about 25 models or so. So for me, for example, my game today, which we're going to put up on YouTube against Brad, I have 10 Marauders, 10 Blood Warriors, 3 Demon, the Juggernauts, and then a Chaos Lord. That's a skirmish force for me. So that's about the size of what you're going on. The reason why we're bounding it by points is because if we say skirmish force, that's what we expect from both sides. There is a cap on summoning, which is laid out in the packet, and essentially all that is for skirmish battles, your summoners can hold 1 unit on the table at any given time, and that's it. Chaos Lord, I can only summon 1 unit at any given time. So that prevents me from turning a skirmish battle into a full-fledged apocalypse battle in 1 turn because I can. We can't do that. And then there's just some other minor rules additions out there. You don't have to use those in your own games. I don't care if you use them or not. I'm not the police, and I'm not going to come after you and try to make sure everyone's doing them. That's just kind of like a guideline. For campaign days, we're going to use them, go over the packet, and kind of just see what is there. It's just kind of like a guideline to on what we expect. So, any questions so far? Pretty easy stuff. Real quick on Brimstone Peninsula rules. Terrain. The big thing that people have asked lately is we don't have points for terrain or anything, and I don't really know how to handle the terrain scrolls very well in terms of trying to put points on it, because some pieces of terrain are like super useful to one person but not useful at all to another. So how do you put points on that? You really can't. It's supposed to be thematic and narrative, so this is taking place in the realm of fire. So Gardens of Moor don't really belong in the realm of fire. That's like a dead thing, things like that. We expect hills and ruined towers and altars and all that kind of stuff's cool. Use the you can bring stuff from the War Scroll. Just make sure it kind of fits the narrative where you're at. There is also its own terrain chart, which is right here. So you lay your terrain out just like the core rules say. Just roll a d6, see what each one does. They're kind of different. They're more keyed towards the realm of fire. There is the Reign of Sigmar, which comes right from the Games Workshop book, which is a priest ability to bless. I did kind of alter it a little bit so it only lasts 1 turn instead of the whole game, because the whole game is kind of a long time. And I countered that with the Blood Rain. If you have a Chaos Priest, you can summon forth the Blood Rain, which gives his side a bonus for that turn. Wizards know Fireball, and Wizards know the Elemental Sword of Ruin, which is described in here. Fireball comes from their main rules. The Sword of Ruin is an old 8th edition spell that's also a fire sword, so it kind of makes sense. You have a Triumph chart, which means if you win, you get to roll on this for your next game. Again, I'm not going to police this. This is not a super rigid form. This is one of those, I have you at your word. If you won, then you get to use it. There's the tactical objective chart in here for that battle if you're using it. Here we have the Fire Elemental from Forge World, which is a model that don't have the rules yet, so I made rules for it. If you wanted to use it, it makes sense to use it in this element, because this is where he comes from. And then your battle plans, which are in the back. So, again, all this is for free download. Just go up and grab it, and you have your battle plans laid out for you. Any other questions?
The reigns, chaos and order, does destruction and death have anything like that as well?
No, we have 2 factions. It's just order and chaos. We're just narrowing it down to that. How it's probably going to be is it's going to be order and the 3 factions that are kind of doing their own thing. So it's centered around those. You can play your games how I'm going to administrate is very loose. You can play however many games you want per cycle, but you can only play the same person once per cycle. So I can't play Corey 5 times and beat Corey 5 times, and I can only play him once.
But you're going to beat me 5 times.
I did. I said I'm going to beat you 5 times. You can play whoever you want. You have to report to me the standings. I basically will tally up the overall progress. I'm also going to be creating a Facebook group specifically for this, so that you can be like, hey, I want a game, because our main group is now like a giant white noise group where people are posting memes and things that it's really hard to keep track of. So I'm going to make a group specifically for this. I'm going to post a link in our sticky post. It's going to say, go here, request to join, I'll add you there. That way you can be like, everything's focused on the campaign. There should be no one in that group that's not part of the campaign. So that'll be how you find your games. I have right now 3 campaign days scheduled. The first one is next week. We're going to meet here. Maybe use all 3 tables. I'm going to bring some terrain. The next one I know is Halloween, and then the last one is the main assault on the Black Mirror Tower, which is a special terrain piece that I ordered that I'm hopefully will have done by Thanksgiving, and that's when it ends. We may have a 4th one, and it'll just depend on people's schedules and if we can pull it off. All right. So as for today, the only rule is you can't play someone in order, can't play order. So.
Perfect.
Destruction, death, and chaos, it looks like will be kind of breaking off and making their own thing. Corey can play elves, and he's going to be evil elf this time. So they're angry destruction elves. I'll let him come up with a story for
Led
that.
by Matt Ward.
Yeah, led by Matt Ward. So, all right, so if you don't have any questions, that's what it's going to go. It's going to carry on until Thanksgiving. I'm not going to collect any entrance fees or anything for this. It's just a loose escalation thing it's meant for friendly games, just to kind of build the community for Age of Sigmar. So, cool. All right, the battlefield. The dwarves will be approaching from the gate. I'm going to be rolling for each of these pieces of terrain to see what they do. Alright, so the first thing we got.
That. One.
It's damned. Any units within 3 inches can make a sacrifice. So they take D3 mortal wounds. You can add 1 to all hit rolls for the rest of the phase. So that thing is damned. Then we have the swamp. All these dice here are blood geysers that can go off. So the swamp will also be damned. So we can make sacrifices to the gods in the swamps and the tower. And we have the bridge. There's a 6. Cursed. The heat and fury of the fire realm saps at the strength and willpower of any unit within 3 inches of this. They must reroll any successful saves. That sounds pleasant. Then we have this swamp here. That's a 3. Inspiring. Add 1 to the bravery of all units within 3 inches. So this swamp, for whatever reason, is inspiring to people. And the fountain with a geyser on it. There's a 5. Elemental protection. The powerful fury of the fire realm protects any unit within 3 inches of this terrain. They may reroll any failed saves. Over here we have Chaos Altar, which is a 2. 2 is primal. Wizards within 3 inches of this terrain feature may attempt to tap into the elemental plane of fire. And we have this guy here, which is a 3, which is inspiring. And then last we have Mr. Archway, which has a portal, or excuse me, a geyser. And he is cursed. So we have a damned swamp, a damned plinth, and we have the cursed, or the inspiring swamp, the cursed bridge, the cursed archway, and the wizard's altar. That'll be interesting. Alright, so here we have the Khorne Bloodbound army that is going to be surprised by the Dwarven force today. These guys haven't had a real fight in a long, long time, so they're really not expecting what's about to happen to them. So up here we have the Chaos Lord hanging out on the Chaos Altar here, and he's surrounded by his 10 Blood Warriors. Right here we have 10 Blood Reavers, which are Chaos Marauders that are going to be proxying as Blood Reavers. And over here we have 3 Demon Cav, and they're just kind of patrolling the area. This represents a 10-point Azyr skirmish force.
Alright, and this is a 10-point dwarf force for today. We've got a Dwarf Lord, a Dwarf BSB, and then a unit of 10 hammers here, and then 5 Iron Drakes.
Alright. Standard scenario, we are going to be scoring this guy. This is 6 turns. So here we have Khorne taking on the Duradin. Turn 1, initiative. 3, 6. You going first?
Yes. I'll go first.
Alright, dwarves go first. Alright, and the geyser actually should have gone first, but we're going to go ahead and roll the geyser now and see which one goes off. And number 4 blood geyser goes off, which is right there. So a fountain of blood spews up and no one's within range of it, so nothing happens.
Heroes will move forward.
Here go the heroes.
First the Lord and then the BSB. The Lord's going to move up into the guys. The BSB is going to trail in behind him.
Alright, and with that, the dwarf turn is completed because their missile troops are out of range. So that's going to take us to the corn turn. Now, these guys are not going to do anything fancy. They're just going to basically be running forward at the dwarves and trying to get into combat as soon as possible. Alright, the Chaos Lord. He is going to try to call on some reinforcements and bring some Chaos Knights in over on the flank. He needs a 4-up. There they are. So the Chaos Knights are going to move in on the back there, but they're not allowed to charge this turn. Alright, turn 1's movement phase for Chaos Over. You can see that they are eagerly charging forward. And we have Knights in the back, putting some pressure on the dwarves. So, dwarves have some pressure on their back end from the front. So now turn 2 starts and we have some initiative. 4. The dwarves win the initiative on turn 2. You roll for your blood geyser. Number 2.
What's that?
Uh-oh. Blood geyser goes off. That's going to hit them.
Just,
But the blood warriors are going to be bathed in blood, so D3 mortal wounds. 2. So, we're going to lose a blood warrior.
So the dwarf general, he is going to do a grudge on the knights, which is going to give me a bonus on all of my attacks against them.
Yay.
And the army battle standard bearer, he is going to plant his standard.
And tell us what that does.
That makes everything immune to battle shock within his bubble.
Alright, so the dwarves say, just say no to battle shock. Alright, so the dwarf hammerers are going to also turn around and face the knights.
Yes.
Focus kill the knights. Ignore the rest of the chaos army and get some points.
They can move up. They have to stay
3 inches away.
3 inches away, which is going to be basically they're all going to be able to get in a line here. Be ready to charge. And then the Lord will also move to get into place. Doesn't really have anywhere to go though, so basically he needs to turn.
Alright, so shooting hell's about to happen. We actually had a mistake where the knights were too close, so we bumped them back, but the Iron Drakes are getting ready to light up the Chaos Knights.
So,
The 3's to hit, and the green one is a special torpedo. Oh my, well the torpedo missed, so that's good. That's good for my end. You got 5 hits from the guns.
which the guns are normally a 3-up to wound. With the grudge, they are a 2-up to wound.
2 up to wound, here we go. How many knights get dropped? 2 up. All of them.
So
5.
wounds.
And the
They
rending?
had a rend of 1.
Rend of 1,
Do
so
one damage.
that gives me a 5 up save. Alright, gonna try to save on a 5-up. Well, looks like we're gonna get 2 saves and 3 out, so 1 knight is going to drop. So, let's take out the closest knight here. With the pimp hand! Pimp hand knight dies. Alright, charging. The dwarves are 3 inches away, so hammers are nasty. More likely, they're going in. Let's spread to a snake eyes for me, which he does not.
So, then get all of them in plus...
All your hammers and not your heroes. Your heroes have to roll separately.
Which that would...
Alright, the dwarf lord. He's going to try to get in there too. He needs some love.
Yep.
7 inches.
Which is going to give him enough to...
Yep. Here he goes.
One up into the side.
Bonsai kick. Alright, wow, that looks painful, so we're going to lose some blood knights here. Alright, we've got 5 hammers able to fight, so that is 10 hammer attacks going to the knights. 3s to hit. Boom! 3s to hit. What do we get? We get a lot of hits. 3 don't hit. So that's 6 hits, 7 hits.
And then they are going to need...
And 3s to wound.
And with the grudge, 2s to wound.
2s to wound. That's what we call heresy right here. Bam. All of them. 7 wounds. What's the rend?
And rend of 1.
So they're going to have a 5-up save.
1 damage.
5-up save, 7. Alright. 7 wounds save here. Come on, corn dice. What do we got? 1. That was awesome. So that looks like you're going to kill 2 more. So 2 knights are going to bite it. So we're going to take a couple knights off there. Alright, over here, we've got 2 knights left. They are going to position themselves around the dwarf lord, and they're going to try to, because they know they're not really going to last that battle. Let's see if they can do some damage. Alright, so we've got 8 attacks going on to the dwarf lord. The white ones are the champions. They need 4s and 3s, except the champion needs 3s to hit. So, alright, we got 3 wounds on the dwarf lord. No rending.
3 wounds. He's got his shield. So he's on a 3-up.
One wound. Alright, well, chaos knights to something before they go down. But now the dwarf lord goes. Alright, dwarf lord's 3s to hit, 2s to wound, rending 1. 4 attacks. 3 hits. 2s to wound. 3 wounds. Let's see what we can do to save this. 5s. Oh, looks like I got 1 save, 2 wounds. So one of those knights back there's got 2 wounds on him.
It's D3 wounds with this weapon.
Oh, it's D3 wounds.
So
2D3?
yep.
2 and 3 is 5 wounds. So actually you killed another one. And one guy's got a wound left on him. And we're going to do a bravery score real quick, and that guy's going to run away. So those knights came in and just gave the dwarves some free points because they are now destroyed. So Chaos is now down, I believe, 3-0. Alright, Chaos turn 2. Wow, with the dwarves up and packed away on that little hill there, I'll have to make up some points. So first we got to see what Blood Geyser goes off next. So number 3, and that's way over here, so nothing happens. So Chaos Army is going to try to move into position and get some charging off. Alright, Chaos Lord's going to once again attempt to summon. Since he lost his unit, he's allowed to summon again. Now these can be free points to the dwarves, so you got to be very careful. They're already down 3-0. On a 4-up, oh, there's a 2. His command ability is wasted. Poor Chaos Lord. Alright, turn 2 is the movement's over. You can see the Chaos Lord is moving closer. We have a 10-inch potential charge here with the demons. We have an 11-inch charge with the Blood Warriors, and then the Battle Standard Bearers within 10 inches of the Marauders. So if we can get some guys in there, that may help a little bit. So here come the demons. They're going to try their 10-inch charge. Oh, they rolled a 9. They rolled a 9. Alright, Blood Warriors, they're going for an 11. Probably not making that one. Holy shit. That's an 11. So they will get the charge off. And we have the Marauders, or the Reavers, excuse me. They have a 10-inch charge. They have a musician. That's going to let them need a 9. So let's see if I can double that or duplicate that. Like that. That's like magic dice right there. 11. 2 charges. Alright, well, we got some combat going on now. We've got Mr. Battle Standard Bearer and the Iron Drake surrounded. So we're going to let the Blood Warriors go first. They're going to make a 3-inch pile move. Alright, we get 6 attacks, 3s to hit, 4s to wound. So there we have all but 1, and the Gore Axe lets me reroll the 1 to hit. So that's all hit. Now I need 4s to wound. And it looks like we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds. 4 wounds.
4 up to save.
It's really nice for a missile unit. Drop 2. Alright, their attack's back. They get to pile in. So, go.
So the thing with the battle standard, he has 4 attacks that he can level on the Marauders there, and he has the special rule that if you have a bigger, more magnificent beard than your opponent, he can reroll his to hit rolls.
Yeah, my beard's not very magnificent.
So he needs 3s and 3s.
Alright, 3s and 3s to reroll.
To hit.
Because my beard sucks. But he doesn't need it.
To reroll.
Look at that. Boom.
3s to wound.
Marauder bodies flying everywhere.
Come on, 3s.
3 wounds.
Yep, so 3 wounds.
Alright, and Blood Reavers have no save, so basically that's 3. I just got knocked down the hill there, so it's my turn, so we're going to make a pile-in. Where's he at? So we're going to Blood for the Blood God this. We've got him surrounded. Alright, so big pile. Alright, we got 4s and 4s. Let's see what we can do. We have 8 attacks coming on mine. Chaos Lord. Give me some power. That. 3 hits. Nothing, no wounds. He gets away.
So the Iron Drakes fighting back.
1 hit.
And then 5s to wound.
Blood Warriors say no. Alright, so on to Battle Shock. I think that's it. Looks like I just have the Marauders that need to take a Battle Shock tick. Because your guys are immune to it.
Yes.
So, Reavers and their sweet leadership out of a 6 right now because of the banner. They lost 3 guys. I roll a 1. So, Battle Shock is not going to do anything. Okay, so we're about to start turn 3. We've got a big battle up on the hill going on. It's time for some initiative. Let's see if the dwarves can win the 3rd one in a row. There's a 3, and there's a 2. I paid the price with model death there. So Chaos is definitely going first. Don't want those guys shooting into combat. We need to get some attacks in. Okay, this might be a bad thing, but the Chaos Lord is going to once again try to summon some reinforcements as opposed to giving a unit immune to Battle Shock. So on a 4, there's another 2. No reinforcements. No command ability. Alright, turn 3 Chaos. We've got our movement done. We have the Blood Crushers here. They're moving around the flank trying to get a side charge. Chaos Lord's kind of hanging out back here. Not able to get into combat yet, so we're going to try to get some charging action going. So the Blood Crushers, they are going to attempt to charge the Iron Drakes. And they're going to roll a 9 for their charge. Should be more than enough to take them into contact. Alright, combat's going to start with the Blood Reavers. They're going to elect to go first against the Battle Standard. They've got 8 attacks. They need 3s to hit, 4s to wound. And re-rolling 1s, which is good. Not a great showing again with the dice. It's about half. 3 rolls, now we need 4s. 1 wound that time. Alright. Battle Standard Bear has gone through a lot of attacks. Takes a wound.
4 up save.
4 up save. He says no. Brandishes his metal-clad middle finger again. Alright. Dwarf's turn.
So Iron Drakes. They're going to level their 3 attacks at the Blood Warriors. They're still going to be on 4s to hit.
4s and 5s.
5s to wound.
Blood Warriors are tired of this racism.
3 fists.
There we go. There's 2 mailed fists on a 5.
5s.
1.
Wound. 1 mailed fist to the face.
1 mailed fist is saved. Alright, so Chaos goes next. Blood Warriors are going to move in. Alright, the Iron Drakes drop to the Blood Warriors. The Blood Warriors scream, blood for the Blood God. And that takes us to Mr. Thane, surrounded by the Blood Reavers. He gives 0 dams. And the Nasty Dwarf knocks 2 down to the ground. So that's about the Battle Shock check. 2 died. Roll a 5, plus 2 is 7. This guy says, screw you guys, I'm going home. So that leaves 4 Reavers left. Alright, the blood fountain goes off. And Mr. Chaos Lord just took 2 mortal wounds. So, hooray. It is now the dwarf's turn 3.
Within 3 inches.
Yep. Bring on the charge.
I can fan them a little bit, I think.
Here come the hammers.
3 inches over here.
Alright, everyone got into combat. The hammers are getting ready to lay the smackdown on some Blood Warriors.
So there's 10.
Oh, 10. 20
That's
attacks.
21 attacks.
21 attacks. It's gonna be pretty ugly. So nasty hammers. They just killed 5 Blood Warriors. There's 10 wounds there. I made 4 saves. So for every dead Blood Warrior, they're gonna get to make an attack. And for every save, they're gonna try to use their Blood Fist and doing some immortal wounds. Alright, so 3 hammers are going to drop to the Blood Warriors' defensive abilities. Now the Blood Warriors are going to get to pile in and make their attacks. Alright, so now after that's all done, no more damage with the hammers, unfortunately, for me. So now the Thane is going to try to finish off the Blood Reapers. Alright, the Thane just cleared house, so that leaves the Dwarf Lord, who's looking to inflict some more damage. We're going to see what happens with the Blood Warriors now. They lost 5 guys. They're on a command of 7. There's a 4, so 9. They're going to lose 2 more models. Okay, turn 4. Here comes some initiative. We get 2 against a 5. Dwarves are going to go first. That makes a big difference here. Alright, the grudge is going on the Demon Cavalry, so let's see what Geyser goes off now. He gets a 4. Which one's a 4? Oh.
Those guys.
I wooed. D3.
Come on, 6.
There's a wound. Alright, the Dwarf Thane wants to get into combat. Unfortunately, he rolls Snake Eyes. Here come the hammers. They are going to try to finish off these Blood Warriors.
So there's 8 attacks there.
8 attacks on the Blood Warriors. Alright, the Blood Warriors are dead, and that's going to end this turn. Chaos is going to get to go, but all that's left is Chaos Lord and some Cavalry. So, I'm going to be hoping for some Chaos Lord boost here. Blood Geyser. Of course, the one that goes off on the Chaos Lord. He'll take another wound. So the Chaos Lord has been drilled by his own...
Does it give flashbacks to Lustria?
Yes, flashbacks to Lustria where the environment was killing me. Alright, he's going to try to summon. He needs to get some reinforcements on the table. No, another 2 is rolled. That's not looking good. The Blood God is obviously very angry right now. Alright, turn 4 combat is going to probably decide the game here. Chaos Lord, heavily wounded, and his 3 cavalry buddies into what's left of the hammer unit. Alright, the Dwarf Lord takes 2 more wounds from the Chaos Lord. He's down to so they're both tied at 3 wounds taken apiece. It's not enough to drop them though. Who's striking next? Decisions.
The hammers are nasty.
The hammers are going into the cavalry.
So, accelerate in.
Yep.
5 left, so 11 attacks.
11 attacks onto the Blood Crushers.
3.
Alright, the combat shrinking. The Juggernauts were able to do 3 mortal wounds on the charge with their murderous charge. The hammers in turn were able to drop one of the Blood Crushers. So we've got 2 Blood Crushers left. And one is going to turn his attention on to the two hammers, the other one's going to attack the Chaos Lord, or the, the Dwarf Lord. And the Dwarf Lord is down to one wound left, and we have one hammerer left. So now it's the Dwarf Lord's turn to strike before the fourth turn ends. The Dwarf Lord takes some swings, he manages a knock on the Chaos Lord, but his armor is going to save him, so that is going to take us to the end of turn 4, and now to the beginning of turn 5, where we will roll for initiative. There's another 2! I am a 2-rolling champion. Dwarves take top of turn 5. Not much left to do except roll the charge. So go ahead and roll your charge. We'll do your
Yeah, so he is gonna.
game is coming down to this. 3 models on each side.
He's gonna grudge the Lord.
Grudges the Lord.
And then he's gonna try to charge.
Okay, don't throw snake eyes again. Can you do it twice in a row?
Hope not.
Oh my, almost.
Exactly 3.
Almost. Alright, well the Chaos Lord things aren't looking too good for him, but... Alright, dwarves get to go first, so who's striking first?
Oh, the Lord is gonna go for the Lord.
Dwarf Lord on Chaos Lord, can he finish him off?
I hope so.
I don't. I don't hope so.
So 3s and 2s because of the grudge. Ugh.
I'll take those. Look at that.
2s for the grudge.
1 wound again.
Again.
Okay. Can I get lucky one more time? No, I'll take a wound.
D3 wounds.
D3 wound.
I'm on 6.
That doesn't count, and it's on the floor. Bouncing around. 2 wounds. Chaos Lord is going to respond to the Dwarf Lord. We both have 1 wound left. 6 attacks, 3s and 3s. Rerollable to hits. Alright, here we go. 3s and 3s, but I get to reroll the hits. We're going to roll all but 1, our hits. And the rerolls and hit. Sweet. Alright, here's where it counts. The wounds. Come on, Chaos Axes. Do what you knew. Oh, we'll take that. 5 wounds. 5 wounds.
3 ups.
Come on. He's got to fail 1. I need a 1 or 2. Come on, come on, come on. There it is. There's the 1. Dwarf Lord dies to the Chaos Lord. Axe to the head. I'll take the short-lived victory because I know it's coming next. Alright, the Thane. Is the Thane going to avenge his best friend in life?
Alright, so he's also 4 attacks.
Yep.
3s and 2s.
3s and 2s, 4 attacks. 3 hits. 2 wounds. Rending 1. Or no rending, which one? No rend. Alright. I need my right hand. Change my camera, okay. I believe in you, Chaos Lord. Oh, he failed twice. And with that, the Chaos Lord dies. But the Blood Crushers go next. He almost made it. The hammer failed 1 armor save, so now Chaos is going to get their turn. And it's basically going to be a charge into the Thane. So on a 4-up, these guys do D3 mortal wounds on the charge. So we get 1. And it's going to do 3 mortal wounds to the Thane. Alright, and now we will attack and try to finish him off. And there we have the final. The dwarves finally fall in front of their gate, but now we have to score it. The 2 Blood Crushers hold the field.